time as you may consume. To the gentleman from California, Mr. LaMalfa.
Thank you, my colleague, Mr. Moore. Appreciate that a lot. Indeed, California's had a lot of problems inflicted upon it, partly by nature and partly self-inflicted by governing. And as we reflect and bring resources and aid to Southern California here on these horrific events happening with fire down there in Pacific Palisades and surrounding communities, it's very sobering, but also points out the need for leadership and competency in preparing for it. It's really basic stuff. In my north part of the state, we've been through it many times with losses of communities, and we all remember the Paradise Fire. 85 people lost their lives, and 90% of the town was consumed, and others. And so we have got to do better in the preparation ahead of time before fire season on how we treat the lands and have the apparatus ready instead of complications due to contracts, for example, with the Forest Service not being ready to have the equipment that would be there in the forest, and on and on and on. So I appreciate that, and we're going to do the best we can to move as quickly as possible for the folks in Southern Cal, and then ongoing build up the infrastructure and the work that needs to be done. So tonight's topic has been, when we're talking about protecting our citizens, protecting our border. California, as well, under the direction of Gavin Newsom, has become a haven for illegal immigration, with taxpayers footing the bill for an ever-expanding list of unbelievable benefits that are being given to illegal immigrants. From health care to education, sex changes, homes, the whole works. California is pouring resources into supporting those here illegally, while our own citizens, as we mentioned, are struggling with many things in burning communities, as well as the more day-to-day stuff. Overcrowded schools, strained healthcare systems, and increasing public safety concerns with gang and crime and on and on. And the sanctuary policies that we have statewide, not just cities like we see around the country. This is a statewide sanctuary policy that protects illegal immigration from ICE and others being able to pick them up when it's found that we have illegals in this country that could be processed federally and hopefully deported. Cities across California are openly defying federal immigration laws, creating safe havens for those who have broken the law. These sanctuary cities, as well, are not just a burden on our resources, they are a threat, as I said, to public safety. We've seen this firsthand, most recently in this country with the tragic loss and death of Laken Riley. And you'll remember a few years ago in San Francisco on the wharf there, Kate Steinle, killed by a bullet from a gun that an illegal immigrant had found or taken or stolen or whatever. Those lives are gone, and it's tragedy for their family. What are we going to do to avenge them? What are we going to do to make it right? Because these two innocent women lost their lives due to these violent crimes committed by illegal immigrants who are protected by these sanctuary policies. So tomorrow, hopefully, we will take up the Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act, introduced by my colleague Nancy Mace from South Carolina. This crucial bill aims to close the loopholes that will allow violent offenders to slip through the cracks and continue to pose a threat to our country. It's high time we prioritize the safety and security of our citizens, so the needs of our people, particularly women who would be and have been the victims of these violent crimes. In my home state, California's approach is not sustainable. We are overcrowded with crime, overrun, gangs, and broken services, as I mentioned. Governor Newsom's policies are draining our resources and compromising public safety. His priorities are illegal aliens and all sorts of benefits for them we keep seeing on and again and again as the state is running a deficit and spending things like on high-speed rail instead of helping for fire safety and having our water supply that we need for all those good reasons. Instead of prioritizing the well-being of California, the state is offering a free pass again and again and again to those coming into the country illegally, and we become the state that is the magnet for all of it away from the other states. So, as we've said, it's a high time to put a stop to this. Let's stand behind this legislation, the Preventing Violence Against Women by Illegal Aliens Act, and ensure that we're doing everything possible to protect our cities, and the people that will live within them, especially the women, as like we think of Lakin Riley, Kate Steinle, and too many others who have already paid the ultimate price. We need to focus entirely on the needs of folks like that, and hopefully there will be some sense of closure or satisfaction for their families to see at least we've done the right thing ultimately. And with President Trump coming in just a few short days, I think we can finally get the momentum to do what we need to do with enforcing our border and allowing legal immigration, allowing people that we invite into the country. We're still for immigration. Just follow our rules, follow our laws, pass a few reasonable tests in order to be part of the American dream. And we extend that. It's what the country was based on for so many years and has completely gone awry in the last 50. Why is it allowed to happen this way? Why does the Biden administration, why do my colleagues on the other side believe that this is good policy, we should, and keep getting away with it politically? Why is it seen as a good thing? I think folks have really had their fill of it now because they're seeing it really showing up in their pocketbooks and their ability to afford a home, have a job, and not continue to get farther and farther behind, as this country has always aspired to have the next generation be just a little bit better off than the previous one. That's not happening now. And these policies such as this, you can lay that right at the feet of our porous border, as well as bad energy policies and other things causing inflation. So with that, this is a very important thing we're working on this week so we can ensure the women of this country that we are behind you. We do have your back on this violence, as well as previous legislation mentioned on women and girls in sports having a safe place to play and enjoy and excel without men somehow interfering on those fields, in those locker rooms. Common sense. I can't even believe we're here at this point, but we're battling back here in this Congress with Republican leadership doing so. So I appreciate, again, Mr. Moore leading us here tonight, and thank you for the time.
Thank you to the gentleman from California, and again, we continue to